think that with all the layoffs, with all the reorgs, there's just a lot of pressure to really showcase what you're bringing to the table.
We're both turning 30 like really soon. I feel like, ironically, entering my 30s, my life feels the most open-ended.
Something about these performance reviews do kick up a little bit of unease, and I think it's mainly because last year was just not my best year work-wise.
I need not just a hunch, I need to be really sure, and I am not sure.
Welcome back to the Grass is Greener series. If you're new here, hi, I'm Amy. I work at Google and most of my career is in big corporates like Google and Disney.
Hey, I'm Jenny, and I've been an early employee at startups like Notion for most of my career, and I'm currently in the early stages of starting my own company. In this series, we wanted to show our lives in parallel to each other, inspired by this saying: the grass isn't necessarily greener on the other side, it's greener where you water it.
Morning.
Morning.
Hi. And then talking about our next quarterly goals, like what are they?
I think I would like feedback. What goal is like aiming really high versus what goal is aiming really low? Because I think I tend to aim really high.
Yeah, we both shot really high the last quarter.
Alright, let's just do it and see.
Okay. I'm gonna put 30 minutes on the timer. Okay,
Yeah.
I'll mute myself.
My first one is also an update. The initiation fee came in yesterday.
Yay! Money is in the
officially-
bank. I think more and more I'm realizing if I really go ahead this medical device route, I need not just a hunch, I need to be really fucking sure, and I am not sure. Do I really press the gas on this medical device? Do people really need this? What's the business model? Am I the right founder for this? You know? So more existential questions.
Maybe it almost feels wrong for you to like press the gas pedal without being sure about the destination. But then if you find all the time figuring out what your destination is, then you're not going to be able to press the pedal at all.
Yeah.
I think it's a self-challenge there of how do you do both? How can you get comfortable with doing both at the same time? Because they're both necessary. They feed into each other.
Executing on a path that I'm unsure about will lead me to a path that I'm more sure about. But in my head, sometimes it feels like a net negative. It's like, oh, it's only taking me further away the path that I should be on. You know what I mean?
Yeah, should be.
Should be.
Should.
Should, yeah. We don't like shoulds.
Let's take this show on the road.
I'm back from Hawaii. I'm feeling rejuvenated and refreshed. I think I also got a little bit tanner, but you tell me. It's 9:32 over here. I had an early start to the morning. Other than that, I actually feel like Hawaii came at a good time. I've been really struggling with what I want to do more long term. Sometimes I feel this pressure to have a impactful next step in my career. I think I was able to connect the dots a little better between what I'm currently doing today to what I want to continue doing in the future. A big part of my role is actually building programs, influence people to buy into my programs and scale that in a way that is very measurable and where I see more of my long-term vision coming together. Long story short, I feel very motivated again because I found a bigger purpose, like a North Star for why I'm doing what I'm doing, and I'm feeling like I am where I need to be. I think sometimes we just need to take a step back to see the bigger picture. My step back was an expensive step back where my wallet needs a break, but yeah, I'm glad it all came together.
A recent realization for me is that this founder path is as much of a company building journey as it is a character building one. And what helped me realize that is at the end of every week, my friend and I do these weekly reflections, and that's the call I had this morning. We're both solo founders, and we've been going at this for about 6 months now, and honestly, without these regular check-ins, I don't think I would have been able to be as like emotionally, mentally stable as I have been. I wanted to show you really quick what we talk about. So here's the template that we use, and we just made it up, but the spirit of these weekly reflections are anchored in this quote. And it goes, anything in my life when I have managed to go from a vision to a reality, the vision has not been a plan, but a practice. In other words, what matters is not having a vision, but rather making a habit of returning to and revising the vision. Basically take 30 to 45 minutes filling this out. Anything from progressing to your quarterly goals, like what are key insights that you learned from the week, any mistakes you've made. And my favorite part is at the end where, given all that we talked about, we share one affirmation and one challenge. These are one of my systems that really keep me on track.
A friend of mine is in town from New York and we just got lunch and I was about to head home, but you know what? I've just been feeling so bored of my day-to-day routine that I'm gonna try to work at somewhere new, and it's also such a nice day out today, so I want to be outside and in the sun.
One of the things me and my friend talked about over lunch was we're both turning 30 like really soon. I feel like, ironically, entering my 30s, my life feels the most open-ended as it's ever felt. And I truly feel like I'm genuinely charting my own path, which is really exciting. But at the same time, just thoughts on like, am I behind? Am I starting too late? If I want a family by X time, how am I gonna do that and start this company and do all this? And I think baseline I do pretty well with ambiguity, but I think I'm almost like learning a new level of what it means to operate in ambiguity. That's been a challenge for me recently. I think my 30s will be even more ambiguous than honestly my 20s. So just random thoughts on the park.
I succumbed and I turned the air on. But of course, when I turn the air on, I get a little cold. So anyways, long story short, I changed, the air is on, and I feel happy with the temperature. I have therapy in a little bit. I've been doing therapy for a while now. I think today I might talk about my upcoming performance review, which is actually happening later this evening. Wish me luck. Normally I don't feel too much anxiety at work, which I'm very thankful for, but something about these performance reviews do kick up a little bit of unease, and I think it's mainly because if you have been following, you'll know, especially in the slump video, that last year was just not my best year work-wise. I think I was just going through a lot in my personal life, and that definitely bled into work. But you know, just trying to remind myself we're all human and we have human moments. Just trying to recenter myself because how I think and feel like I'm doing is the most important first and foremost. But also, I am proud of some of the progress I've made this year so far. Good timing with therapy today, and I'll check back in with you guys after all that is over.
밤이 오면 항상 turn the lights out. Tell me where you want it. Baby, you're the one I wanna know about. We can fall in slowly, yeah. We don't need to do the talking. Get into it, baby, softly, yeah. 매일 on and on, 계속 보는 널. Baby, come and show me.
So if you can't tell already, today has been more of a reflection day for me. So I know this morning I talked about my friend and I doing our end of week reflections. Another thing that I do is these monthly reflections as well. It's end of June, can you believe it? It's already like half of the year gone, oh my God. Doing these monthly reflections are another one of these systems that really keep me on track because it is so easy to get discouraged. So whenever I give myself shit for like, why didn't you make enough progress? Why aren't things happening? I look back into an older month's reflection and I am so reminded that things were so different even a month ago or 2 months ago. I think in the past, I always thought being harder on myself, being more disciplined would set me on track, but I now realize that actually self-compassion is so much more effective. I realize it's less about decreasing those amount of times that I feel that way and more about
will I get back up? And can I get back up quickly? Because at the end of the day, all of these lows are ultimately part of the journey, and you can't have the journey without them.
So I just finished my performance review and it went pretty well. Thank God. But basically last year I was flagged a few areas of improvement that I could work on, and we checked in on those key areas and things are good right now. Obviously because it's only the end of Q2, so this was more like a Q1, Q2 check-in. My actual official review will happen when the year's over. There is like a lot of pressure to just make sure I'm prioritizing the right work that will drive the most value, because my role is very quantifiable in terms of the results I'm pushing through. Just think that with all the layoffs, with all the reorgs, there's just a lot of pressure to really showcase what you're bringing to the table. And because my role is so quantifiable, it'll be really obvious whether or not I'm teetering to the side where it's like, yes, showcasing value, or like, merp, not doing so hot. All that to say, I think where I feel stressed and pressured right now is actually really good, because these are all the skill sets that I'll need in order to build the types of programs I said I wanted to build in the future. So I'm glad I'm being pushed in this sense. I am now going to wrap up writing my performance review and then submit it. And then I'm seeing my cousin later tonight for his birthday dinner, so I'm gonna get ready for that. And yes, I'm gonna try to end my night on a more relaxing and celebratory tone.